Hey everybody, Jordan here with FarmBuilder. So we got a special treat for you today. We are going to give you a tour of our gestating and farrowing farm called Woods Chapel. This is a property that we bought 2 years ago and have been in development since. We have well over 100 sows here now, and we'll give you guys a quick tour as we go around here today and check on each one of these groups, feed them, check their water, check their fence. So come on with us, let's go for a ride. So in the fall, winter of 2019, early 2020, before the pandemic hit, we had been looking around for a piece of property to expand the pig operation. Because even then, we were kind of expanding a little bit bigger than our home-based farm. And we came across a 167-acre piece of property about 15 minutes away, completely wooded, like you see behind me. No power, no water on it, no fence. But it was what we were looking for. That pigs love woods. This has a lot of oak trees on it. It had a road on it that went from the bottom of the property to the top. It's kind of tucked away, not near town. And the other big thing that it had was water. And we'll take you up top and show you what we've done to get water on the property. You can probably see this water line behind me. We have about 20,000 feet of water line on the property that we've installed. With a gravity pressurized pond, and so we were able to operate all of our pigs out here, the pigs that we have out here, without having to have any on-site power or on-site well. And so that kept our infrastructure cost really low. I'll show you what we did for fencing the property and how we solved that problem of how do you keep the pigs in should they get off. So let's hop in the gator, we'll ride up to the pond and show you that area. So one of our challenges was, how do you water all the animals on a new piece of property without a well and having no power there to power the well? One of the things we really liked out here was when we were scouting the property and looking at it to buy it, was we found a spring pretty high up on the property. There's about 400 feet of elevation rise from the bottom to the top of the property over about, maybe 1.5 miles or so, which is not too bad for being on a mountain. It's workable to do with pigs, but it's enough elevation to have a gravity water system. So this is one of my favorite spots on the property so far, to stand here. Got the peaceful pond. You can see the cliff on the mountain up there in the distance. It's got a very wild and rustic feel. So we're over here on the dam. A couple things to point out to you. This is our overflow pipe here. So this is what regulates the how full the pond gets, because we don't want it to overflow and wash our dam out. It's a very sandy soil up here on the mountain, surprisingly. A lot of sandstone, a lot of sand. There was just enough clay to do this pond, but if we had a bad overflow, it probably would cut through and flood this, wash this dam away. So that goes down through the base of the earthen dam. And then also you can see that blue line, and that's our water line. Just coming over here, and you can see it is attached to that bucket, which is just a little thing to keep it floating so that it doesn't sink down to the bottom. And that's where our water is entering in through the water line. It's immediately running down the hill, so it just builds up more and more pressure as it goes. So this is the outlet on the other side, or discharge for the water. And continue down the little stream like it had before. And then we have our water line coming off there to the left and running all the way down to the very bottom of the property. We tested it down at the bottom, and it's about 120 psi, so it's a lot of pressure down there. All right, so this is what a lot of the ground looks like before we move pigs in. So you can see there's pretty thick brush, some mountain laurel. We don't go in and clear this at all. All we're gonna do is just cut enough of a hole through this, maybe about 3-4 feet wide, to get the fence through, and then we let the sows get to work. I'll show you in a minute what a paddock looks like after sows have been through it just one time. And then we have our water line going around the property as well. So remember, the way that we manage sows, any particular spot is at rest for 49 weeks out of the year, and then the sows are gonna be on it for 1 week, and then move on through their rotation. So most of the property does not have pigs on it at any particular time. It's only certain areas. So we've got the water line that goes along, and we can just tap in any particular spot, and we've got water. So having those management tools of fence and water allows us to manage property with the sows with no additional infrastructure cost, and that's a key part to making this work and be profitable. So one of the issues that we had with this piece of property was putting containment fencing all the way around. We don't have a lot of staff here all the time, and so we need to have security, knowing pigs can't leave the property. Clearing 50-foot wide path through woods like this is something that's really expensive, and not a lot of fencing crews would probably even want to come in on the side of the mountain. So the solution we came up with was doing a hog panel fence that you can see here next to me, and just snaking it up along the property line, and cutting the minimal amount of trees out of the way, just enough for us to get the panels up, which act as kind of our last buffer containment should the pigs get out of their electric fence. So the pigs are still being held in their paddocks with the electric fence, and the hog panel is what's keeping them on the property should they get out. And so as we're going along, an example right here of a tree that's pretty much right on the property line, that if we were trying to be super strict about keeping the fence right on the property line, we'd have to cut that down, pull the stump out or whatever. But with having the hog panels, we can just bend it around the tree. Remember, pigs don't care. We're usually the ones that care the most about these kind of things. Another advantage to doing the hog panels is we're putting it through the woods. Trees are always falling down in the woods. And when you have a tree fall on something like American wire, it's gonna pull a couple 100 feet of fence loose from either direction. With a hog panel, and we've already had this happen a few times here, the tree just falls on that one panel, crushes it, and we can cut the tree off, slap a new panel in, and we're good to go. So our cost to do this came in at less than $2 a foot to contain the property, as opposed to spending $5 to $7 a foot to put in something more significant. And so it's worked out pretty well for us. We've had pigs unfortunately get out a few times, which is part of the business of having pigs, and none of them have left the property because of the hog panel fence. So hope you enjoyed the little tour around the farm here. This is something we'll be doing some more videos of on kind of the infrastructure of the place and how we're setting it up, developing a raw piece of property into a hog farm, some of the numbers, how that's working out, how we're cash flowing the mortgage with the pigs that are here. Definitely an interesting topic would be the process of buying property, negotiating, working with lenders, FSA, and how we were able to buy this property with zero down. So definitely put that in a queue for a future video. But for now, we got some more work we need to go do. So the pigs are all fed here. Everything's good for the day, and we're off to do other things. See you guys next time. Later.